Hi guys, great to see you in not even September yet, August. But we're excited to get the year kicked off, to get basketball season underway. Super excited about this group, doing a lot of stuff early this year, so we figured we'd get some media access and give you guys an inside look to what we're doing. So happy to have these four in front of you. I think they can speak to their own progress, their own games, as well as where we're going as a team. So happy to be here. Always appreciate you guys coming out, especially on this Monday night. And let's talk some Cal women's basketball.
Kristine, it seemed like you were the freshman who took the league by storm just the other day, but now you're one of the elder statesmen on the team. How's your role changing coming into this season?
Well, for me, experience. I feel like the first 2 years I was just still learning, and my third year was kind of like, wow, this is Pac-12, this is college basketball. My last year here, I just want to win, and I feel like we've been on the progress, on the growth, just learning what it takes to win. So now that it's my last year here, I'm just excited for all of us just to feel success. Yeah.
Coach, looking at your roster and with your newcomers, with your first grad transfer, can you talk a little bit about the new pieces and what you expect?
Yeah, what I've said kind of all the time, I feel like over the summer when people were asking, is that we have a chance to be really special. And that's because we have some returning people, as Kristine, alluded to, that have really come a long way and been part of stuff. And then we have new pieces. And I just think we have as much depth and skill level as we've had. So specifically to the new pieces, Recee is sitting right here. I'm very analytical with the way we recruit. We have a purpose to everything, and so it's by design that we have our first ever grad transfer. We wouldn't have just taken anybody. We know the returning group that we had, and we wanted someone that we knew and trusted as a human being to bring more than just basketball. I think she's going to provide a lot of experience and leadership. Also, I've known her game since she's been little, and she finally decided she was okay to play for me. But she brings experience. She brings another person who can handle the ball, score the ball, make plays for others, get her own shot off. You can't have too many guards who can do that kind of thing. I think in my history, I've been very willing to play multiple ball handlers. So Key and AT, Leja and Brittany Boyd, now Recee and Key and AT and the others. So she's one new face. Obviously, and Mackenzie Forbes is the most veteran freshman we've ever had, in the sense that she's felt like part of the family, and her game is of that is better. And so she's sort of jack of all trades. I don't know what position we won't use her at. Probably not center. We got a couple of those, but she can play anywhere else. She's very savvy. We haven't even started real practice, but you can just tell she's going to thrive when there's game situations and you have to make her read. And it's pulling something out of her bag of tricks that she's had for a while. So, and then we have a new face in a walk-on, Sierra Ritchie, who's an interesting story that, she contacted literally me out of the blue. A little different story than Archer, who we sort of recruited as a recruited walk-on. And so it's been a really neat addition to the family. I said, you can come up over the summer with no guarantee, that will add you to the squad. And she did everything and was part of it. And we all, decided that she was a collective and a good fit for our team.
Well, looking back at the end of last season, it was disappointing, to exit in the first round, but there were some bright spots there, with Kianna's performance and CJ's performance. Do you think, the team can remember that and, kind of build on, it was a breakout performance in some respects for Kianna.
I can speak to the fact that I don't think I need to think about that game to know how good Kianna is, and I don't need to think about that game to know how good CJ is, right? I think that we're at a place now where everyone believes in each other's talents, and maybe the national audience needed to see Kianna do that, but we all knew what she was capable of and going forward. So what I think is cool about this group is that we've had a lot of history, but I think the focus is on now and what we're capable of doing. And so when I say we've had the most depth and ability that we've had, it's because we know what Kianna's capable of and what she looks like right now, which is better than ever. And we know what CJ is capable of and what she looks like now, which is better than ever. So I think everything we've been through as a group leads us to this point, but we're a new team. Resee's new, Kenzie's new, Kristine's new from what she's ever been, TC's new from what she's ever been. So we're looking forward to what this current group can do.
Asha, you had a breakout year last year, both in terms of on-court performance, but also in your leadership of the team. So can you speak a little bit about, as one of the seniors now, what do you feel like you need to do, and also what changes, what growth have you seen in the team, being from this perspective?
First, I'm ready to get going. Let's just start with that. But I think everybody has improved. And I think we're excited about the improvements. Of course, there's a lot more to go, whatever, but I'm just excited to have all our team back together. Our improvements, like I said, we just build off our strengths really, and see where we want to go.
In what ways have you made some improvement and growth since last year?
Vocal, being more vocal, kind of disciplining myself as well as my teammates. But just really enjoying the moment. Going into your senior year, you're like, okay, this is last year, but I'm trying to go out with a bang, and I want them to go out with a bang. So it's pretty much just exciting.
Kianna, when looking back on your freshman year, what are the things you learned that you feel you learned the most from that experience? And what can you take from that into your sophomore year now that you have a year of college basketball under your belt?
Right. I think just playing college basketball, it's a different level than high school. So just having that year going into my sophomore year, I'm going to be playing with a lot more confidence than I was last year. And I guess I learned how to be more vocal as well. I came in as pretty quiet, and now I'm a lot more comfortable speaking to my teammates and just asking questions.
You say you're in the unique position to be able to compare your situation at Cal to a couple of other programs. What do you see as the real positives that you've experienced so far being a part of things?
Well, first off, I think our team can be really special, which is why I came here, that and the coaching staff. I've known the coaching staff, like Coach G said, since I was in middle school. So my relationship with them has been a lot more personal than past programs that I've been with. Just having that trust. I've learned that trusting your coach really sets you free to play basketball. And I have that with Coach G, and I'm really appreciative of that.
Kianna, after Nicole got injured last year, you really showed what you can do. This year with Asha, with newcomers, there is a lot of players in guard positions. So how was the friendly competition inside, and also how do you see the team binding in that?
Right. I mean, I don't think there can be anything wrong with adding more talent because we all want to win, so we're all on the same page, and so adding more talent can only be a good thing.
This is for all of the students who get chipped in. Looking at the schedule, you're playing UConn again. They're coming here, which is very exciting. In general, the landscape for women's college basketball scheduling is exciting because of UConn, Tennessee, as well, and the national stage for that. But looking at that schedule and some other high-caliber teams, what are you guys looking forward to the most in the non-conference season and challenging yourself against teams like UConn?
I'm looking for the opportunity to gel with the team. Like Coach G said, we have a lot of new pieces, and Kristine, AT, and Key, all of us were all different than what we've been in the past. So take those opportunities to really gel for when conference comes, because conference is the time where we rock and roll.
I'm looking for competition at UConn. I'm so excited to play them. I'm so excited to play them just because that's a once in a lifetime opportunity, playing against Katie, Lisa, Crystal. They're all competitors, and I just want to show what we got. I feel like we can compete. In the past, it's been a challenge, but I think this year is, again, we're really special.
Last year when we played UConn, it was my first away game and my first start. So there was a lot of anticipation going into that game for myself. So I think this time playing them again, I'm gonna be a lot more comfortable. So I guess I'm looking forward to that.
I would just say maturity of all of us, and then, like she said, gelling together. Just being able to compete, willing to compete, and not being scared, fearless. And I think that's what this team is really about, being fearless, going out here, showing what we can do. Possibly beating these teams.
Can I follow up with Coach? What does it mean for you to have them come out here? I mean, that's going to be a game that everyone's going to watch on a national scale. Just the excitement around it before conference.
I mean, I couldn't be more excited either, for a number of different reasons. First is You agree to play UConn because you want players in the program who want that challenge. And so we were thoughtful about it. Okay, we'll start there. You guys will come back here. We knew it would be Kristine and AT and Mo's senior year, and wanted to give them that experience, right? To have this place packed against the top competition in the country, because we think they can handle it along with their teammates. I also think that the Bay Area deserves this game. We're hopefully, like I said, going to fill the place. My hope is that it's not the last time you'll see this type of competition in the Bay. Those players are going to be WNBA players, our players, because the Bay should have a WNBA team. Eventually we will, but we want to be the showcase of women's basketball here at Cal, and to bring out the top team is pretty an exciting thing. So people will come to see Gino, they'll come to see his team, but they're also going to come to see Recee and Kristine and Kianna and AT and Cal women's basketball, and that's pretty cool. On top of that, just the more specifics, when you play UConn, I think you're really challenged to cut hard every single time, to defend hard every time, to run hard every time. And like Recee said, our goal is to win the Pac-12 or go, to the next level in the NCAA tournament. So you can't shy away from the teams that make you play your best. So I'm excited about that. And I will say for them, we're in August. Our T-shirts say "Embrace the grind." We're thinking about today and tomorrow and how we have to work hard. I don't know if they've looked at the rest of the schedule. We all know we're playing UConn, but there's a lot of other tough things on there. We have to fly to Penn State and play in their building. We're going to BYU. We are playing, Tulane in San Diego. It's the first game, I think. So there's a lot of other games too that are important in non-conference that will challenge us.
And Tulane almost beat UConn.
They did.
Asia, 2 years ago, you came here with your little brother, big brother, Ivan Rabb, both highly sought after local recruits, and you talked about how you had thought about playing at Cal for a long time. How has things at the halfway point in your career stacked up with your expectations? What's your experience been like as a local player staying home?
I didn't imagine being here. Let's start with that. But I think this has been definitely a blessing. And it's just, uncomfortable. Really just showing me that staying home is, for me at least, has been one of the best things I've ever done. And then just being a role model for girls, guys too. I know they look up to me as well, even adults. But then just being with my teammates, coaches. It's been difficult times, it's been fun times, but all of it together has been definitely a blessing.
You talked a bit about having the pieces, having depth and having skills across the team. You and I have talked a bit about the mental aspect of, the emotional aspect of playing the game. So how have you seen growth in those areas in your team, even though it's just starting now?
Yeah. That's why I always said we have a chance, right? Because talent doesn't guarantee anything. A lot of things have to go the way that you need them to go for it to be as special a season as it can be. But I could talk about a number of different things. Individual conversations I have with people on our team, I can tell that they're in a different place than where they've ever been. The team feel, it is a lot louder in the gym all the time. Recee has a huge impact on that because she's just a vocal person. But Kristine and TZ and Key, they're talking constantly throughout practice. I know that just sounds like a little thing, but when you're with the team every day, it breeds confidence. It makes me know, sort of how bought in they are and how much they understand what's at stake. I think every little thing that we're doing means a little bit more to them because they understand. Those are the cues that I, get. I think our reps are better. I think the way that they push each other and support each other is a little more nuanced. There's a collective growth, and just the way the team is stacked up. When Kristine and AT came on board, there literally wasn't a senior on the roster. Think about that. Look at the seniors we have now. So when Mackenzie Forbes comes in, she's got this group in front of her, so she just knows how to perform. Whereas these guys had to, rely on coaches and teach themselves. So the entire environment just is a little different. And like I said, I think we have a chance to be really special, but we can't, be complacent at all. We have to understand that means that there's a lot of responsibility on us to keep pushing.
All right, Ben, and then we'll do one or two more, and then we will move you guys into the gym where there's lights, so you can talk to the rest of the players.
Cool. So my question was just on guard rotation. You got 4 really good guards in Kianna, Asha, Michael, and Recee obviously as well. Just talk about how much of a challenge will it be to kind of manage that rotation, or any early thoughts on how that's going to maybe play out?
Yeah, August 27th. I would rather be about, gosh, how are we going to get minutes for all these guards? And oh my gosh, how are we going to sub for Asia? Or how are we going to find points on the board? So it's good things to be able to think about. There's more than what you mentioned. I mean, Jaylen Brown looks great, and she's not, a lead guard like these two, but she's, a guard. Mackenzie Forbes. I think the first thing is we will be able to put a lot of different kinds of lineups on the floor. The second thing is we want basketball players that can do multiple things on the floor and therefore can play different positions at different times, right? So I think we'll be able to play lineups that are bigger. Kristine and CJ together with, Jaylen Brown and Mackenzie Forbes who's bigger, right? We can also go, smaller and, Bird or Jaylen at the floor with Kristine, or with CJ or, that kind of thing. And then I think that we've had a situation where we've had to play people through fatigue, we've had to play people through foul trouble, and now we say, okay, let's get someone in there for 3 or 4 or 5 great minutes and play the pace and get us up, and there's somebody else. Or this is how they're playing us, we need to knock down shots, or we need to get the ball where it needs to be. I think those are good things to think about. And I imagine us playing some different kinds of defenses where we can, just kind of utilize different lineups as well.
The last question.
Coach, we talked about UConn and challenges the teams, and last year it was a great season, but one thing, at least on paper, that looked lacking is wins against ranked teams. So is there an extra motivation or some kind of something like that this off season, this preseason for that to win against big games, big opponents?
These guys will tell you, I'm always trying to find what it is that they need to hear for us to take the next step. So at the end of last season, beginning of this season, we put up the Sweet 16 teams and showed sort of where we didn't quite measure up, because that's what we want to be. We have to beat these type of elite teams. We have to be elite in every single category. So I think it's a motivating factor. We're not worried about what we did or didn't do last year, but we know that the goals now are to be an elite team. So we want to beat the teams that are supposedly elite so that we can be better. We want to, have practices that feel elite. We want to be able to win this rebounding category and this transition category and all the things. So at the end of the day, now it's easy to say, okay, we beat this team, because we do all those things all the time. But there's no question our goals this year are different. And I think the results will follow because it's a different mindset.